Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, our guests at the back there. I am now the table topics master for this evening. I master those topics on the tables. Essentially what that means is we will be providing people with opportunities to speak for, what is it, Eddie, 1 to 2 minutes?
Yeah, 1 to 2 minutes.
1 to 2 minutes. So you will see the green card at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1.5 minutes, the red card at 2 minutes, and then the red card will remain up, and then slowly you will get dirty looks from the audience as you get over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So, because this is extreme, I decided to grab a copy of the Red Eye, which I've not read today. I grabbed it on the way here, and what I'll be doing, I will be selecting topics from the Red Eye and dragging people kicking and screaming out of the audience for you to come up and talk about one of the topics that I talk about. So, without further ado, let us pick something. Okay, this will be an interesting one. It's a quote. The quote is, by the time you have kids and they're in school, no one will probably care about you. By the time you have kids and they're in school, no one will probably care about you, and I'm going to bring up Ken. It doesn't matter whether you've read the article or not, just tell us what you think that means.
Well, I happen to have read that article, or that little quote, and I know it's from Kim Kardashian's soon-to-be ex-husband, Chris Humphries, and he was...
You?
Yeah, well, trivia is really important. And it was, while they were still married, he mentioned that to her, and I wasn't sure what the context even was when I read the quote. What was he trying to tell her? That her moment in the sun would be short-lived? In any case, if I didn't understand it, she certainly would understand it. And I could see why that was a short-lived marriage. But anyone who's been following that realizes they were married 72 days, I think it was, which to me is an incredibly short time. And she announced the divorce to the news media before he found out about it. So the more I hear about this, when I hear quotes like that, and I realize what's been going on, I think it's better for all of us that they get apart, separate, and do not present to us a model of what marriage should be. Thank you.
I'm reminded of the story of when Phil Collins divorced, I think it's his first wife. He did it via fax.
Yeah.
I can't read that handwriting, but send it back. Okay, so I thought that was funny, but apparently not. That's fine. Okay, who are the 1%? Who are the 1%? Prez, come and tell us, man.
Thank you very much, Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. The 1%, the only few. I was just listening to a tape by Brian Tracy. Have you ever heard about Brian Tracy? Famous motivational speaker. And he talked about the 1% of people who set goals and actually write them down. It's 1% of the population of the world that set goals and write them down. Now think about it. What can that do for you? Do you think it will program these goals deeper in your subconscious mind? If every morning when you wake up, you take a sheet of paper and you write your 5 main goals in life. And what if you, after work, late at night, read these goals and think, what did I do today that brought me closer to their achievement? And what can I do differently to achieve it? And if you do that over and over and over and over and over again, you cannot fail, but get closer and closer and closer to your goals. So my appeal to you tonight is set some goals. Write them down and review them regularly. And you will become part of the 1%. Mr. Tabletop.
Friends, I'm going to select someone first and then read out the little quote. So I'm going to select Mr. Tim Wilson. The headline as it is back in business, and it relates to the return of the Dalai Lama.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dalai Lama's back in business and ready to roll. Yeah, he's not monkeying around anymore. You've heard all that sweetness and light kind of stuff, but now it's down to business. He's going to show some people what Dalai Lama is really all about. Huge change. If you haven't seen it, it's just major news out there. The Dalai Lama was seen just kicking some butt. I mean, I don't want to go into the details on it, but he was saying this peace thing just ain't working for me anymore. I've had just about enough of this, you know, turning the other cheek. Now that they turn the cheek, I'm going to give it a good slap. It's getting down. Now, you know, Buddhism, a lot of people think it's about, you know, pacifism and being nice, and that's true. That's very true. It's very important to be nice to your neighbor and that sort of thing. Dalai Lama is going to show us the other side of Buddhism. We just don't take it anymore. You just don't take it anymore. Where you go out there and you throw up the window and you say, I'm mad as hell, and I can't take it anymore, and I'm a Buddhist. Dalai Lama's getting down to business, and folks, things are going to rock, things are going to change. You just mark my words. Table time.
You just made me think, it's a shame Schwarzenegger's not still acting, because I'd like to see Schwarzenegger play the Dalai Lama.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Come on! The middle way!
Thanks, Ken. Thanks. I'll give you money later. What was your name?
Maria.
Maria. Would you like to come up, Maria?
Sure.
Woo! Good luck, guess. There's an article here about concerts. I'd like you to tell us if there's one concert you're most looking forward to.
So the concert that I'm most looking forward to is Under Oath, and it's a hardcore death metal band. And what's really great about them is that there's just passion in everything that they play. And it might not be something for everyone. You know, some people like to hear what the lyrics actually are, but you know, you can always read that in the CD case later. So, if you'd like to see a great concert, I'd encourage you to come and see Under Oath. It started out as an underground band and gained a lot of momentum, doing a lot of tours, and they also have great attire. So if you're looking for a new sweatshirt or a t-shirt or some other things like a satchel bag, it could always be something to sport as you go about your daily business. So that's the concert that I'm looking forward to. I did have a friend recently invite me to a Britney Spears concert here in Chicago a few months ago, and I politely declined, although I'm not wondering what that would have been like. I think it might have been a little bit different than a hardcore death metal concert, but you know, a performer's a performer, and there's hardly any singing in those concerts anymore. A lot of it's all in the dance moves and all of the things that happen around the sets. So there's really very minimal actual singing that happens these days. But it's really good to have a good image, because that's what really counts. So it might count a little bit more as a solo performer, but for me I'd rather see a whole band up there thrashing it out, kids moshing in the crowd, and you know, just get back to the roots of just play your heart out. As far as other concerts, I really don't have anything else in my horizon. It's really either all hot or all cold. So let's go with something heavy, let's go with something really poppy, just to kind of see what's that like. I'm sure it's a different experience. I did hear a couple of executives talking the other day about attending an Eminem concert, and had a colleague that mentioned how interesting that sounded to actually hear two very distinguished gentlemen in their suits talking about going to see the Eminem concert later that evening. Seemed a little bit out of context, but who are we to judge? I mean, maybe they were big fans growing up. Thank you.
Sportsman of the Year? Could happen. What was your name?
Kurt.
Kurt, would you like to come up and tell us about that? Derek Rose becomes Sportsman of the Year.
So Derek Rose becomes Sportsman of the Year. Well, that could be, now he has a lot of downtime since the NBA is locked out. So he might change his occupation. He might be a person that might go and try to do a different sport. I understand I was reading LeBron and Dwayne Wade was going to get a flag football team. So maybe he might be part of that and change the sport. So then when the NBA decides to come back, they might lose one of their stars. Derrick Rose might be a person that says, you know what, now I want to go play baseball, or now I want to go play flag football. He's one of the NBA's poster boys. And so they might lose him if they don't decide to settle the difference between millionaires and billionaires. So, and once they decide that, they will have people back on the court and he'll be the Sportsman of the Year.
That marks the end of our Toast Table Topic session. Handing back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Good job. By the way, there's a trick for clapping hands, is to cup your hands, and it makes much louder noise.
You can also slap your face.
Well, not all of us have a bald head to
Hey,
stand
I'm
on,
not completely bald.
or a thin
I'm on my
one,
way.
or have a surface that we can make sound of. Anyway, it's time for a nice break, and we'll come back at 7 o'clock so that we can proceed into our speaking.
I think our evaluators want to get together with our speakers.
And the speakers are going to speak with the evaluators. Okay? So we'll see you at 7. Thank you.
Are you using that as much?
What sort of technology? I know people who do, so I haven't used Skype per se conference for speaking. I've been webinars, so webinars
Oh, right, with the Skype, that we can do something.
And even beyond that, because I think it's
Okay, now I know.
And Eddie's idea about workshop, it's like we all have something within the future. I do a lot of ideation and so
it's something that every